That's the question a lot of people tend to want to know. Well, what kind of gas should you be putting in your stock 5.7 Hemi Ram, or what kind of gas you should be running in your truck, pretty much. So I'm going to be talking about what I normally do when it comes to gas with this truck. And I will say this is what Ram really recommend, and you definitely should be doing the same thing. Welcome back to another video, guys. Happy Tuesday. Today is a very beautiful day, kind of windy, but I'm outside. We're going to be talking about the Ram today. Going to be talking about the kind of gas that I personally use for my truck, and we're going to be talking about a little bit more stuff coming for this truck. So I'm about to sit in the truck real quick and then give you guys a little bit rundown on what kind of gas I put in my truck and pretty much what I have planned coming up. It's the reason why I'm talking about this topic today, because let me put my window down. excuse me. So it's a reason why I'm talking about this topic, because we're gonna get into that a little bit later on down in the video. But what gas do you really need to be putting in your Ram 1500, in your stock Ram 1500? So now this is something that I see. I know a lot of people, sometimes some people have their own preference. Sometimes people follow exactly what they tell you to put in this truck, like in your truck. It's a stock 5.7 Hemi. So from my understanding, I can say this. I have read some stuff about technically like these trucks right here, like the Ram 1500. You're supposed to be using, you're supposed to be running 89. You know, it's a higher octane, and pretty much, but you could still do 87. 87 is still, regular gas, and it's obviously lower than 89. But from what I read about pretty much when it comes to the fuel system for these trucks and all that stuff, performance wise, this is what I know for a fact. If you run a higher octane, I can't even say that word, octane on your truck, a higher gas, don't run just a regular one. There's no issue with you running like the regular gas, but from reading what they said, also what Ram or Dodge recommended, is that these trucks should be on 89 and stuff like that. You could run 89. 89 or just 89 definitely is a lot more effective on your 5.7 than 87. And one thing I gotta say is 89, I don't know, like prices is different from where you at and where I'm at. So 89 is a little bit more, costs a little bit more money because it's a higher octane. But it's really not, like, I would recommend that you start putting 89 in your truck. I personally run 87 right now in my truck, but now, before we get into this, now there's things coming for this truck. Like the reason why I'm making this, obviously this a video and stuff, because I reached out, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I reached out to, like I mentioned before in the past, that I was planning on getting this truck custom tuned. And right now, obviously your truck is stock. I do want to get it custom tuned, but I'm not just trying to do like a regular tune, like pretty much like a flash on a PCM or ECM, whatever that is. Meaning that it's just like I just pretty much sent out my truck, I think the PCM or something like that, send it out to a tuner. They will flash it for me, send it back to me, and I just put that on. Now, I was thinking about going that route, but in the long term with what I have planned for this truck, what I have planned coming up for this truck, now, I ended up, even though that's a lot cheaper, it's like $300 to do it, I ended up passing up on that. Now, this is what really gonna be coming like within, I'm saying like maybe a week or two. Um, I reached out to a tuner and I forgot their name. Let me see if I could bring up their name real quick. All right, y'all. So I reached out to this tuning company that was recommended to me. They are called MG Tuning LLC, and I must drop the low their Instagram stuff right here. So I reached out. I was talking to him for a while, and he pretty much is a special. He knows about Mopar, and I see on their page that he tuned some pretty fast cars and stuff like that. A lot of Mopars and stuff like Dodge Charger, Hellcats, pretty much Rams with like the 6.4 HEMI swap, Hellcat swap. And I see a lot of things on their page, obviously, and I like what I see. So, I reached out to him and we talked for a little bit. Long story short, he was telling me the two options on the tunes that I could go with. So I decided to go with like a actual tune, custom tune, where it comes with a wide band. Pretty much, it's something that he told me, because even if I'm doing like the swap on this truck, it wouldn't really. I'm still gonna be able to use the tune and stuff that pretty much I'm gonna be paying for. And when I do the swap, it's not gonna do any. It's not gonna. I wouldn't have to retune the truck in a different way and do such and such way. He's the one. Long story short, he's the one that I'm gonna be getting a custom tune from within a couple weeks. So I'm gonna be paying for it and gonna have everything dialed into the truck, where he's gonna tune the engine and then he's gonna tune the transmission. So those are the two things that he's gonna tune on the truck. And this truck gonna be running a higher octane, which is gonna be, I think he said 89 or 91, somewhere around. I think it was 91 though. So that's why I'm gonna be running on this truck. That's the reason why I'm touching up on gas, and but it does require for these trucks though to be running on 89. Like I mentioned, I never run 89 in this truck yet, but I'm not gonna switch up the fuel yet, obviously. But once I get the custom tune, once that come in, that's when I'm gonna switch over from 87 to whatever, I think 89 or 91 or something like that. But I'm kind of excited about doing this because I really want to see, right? Because this truck is not really it's still a stock truck, and pretty much I haven't messed with anything under the hood yet. So me adding just a tune, and maybe later on down the line by the end of the year or something like that, close in a couple weeks, probably gonna end up getting like a custom head. Gonna get long tube headers anyway. Long tube headers, it does require you to have a tune and stuff like that. So now I just want to see with just those two things, how this truck gonna feel, how, obviously it's gonna be a whole lot different from what it drives like now. So I'm kind of really excited about it. But what I could tell you guys is, if you are on the fence about, or if you're using 89, 87, if you're using 87 regular or plan on going to 89, honestly, I think that 89 is a lot more effective for your Ram 1500. And I would recommend, you don't have to though, but I think that I would recommend personally that if you got a car or truck and you're not running, like if you're running still like the 87 regular fuel, I would recommend that you switch over to the 89. 89 is, I see a lot of, you do gain a lot. The truck or car, at the end of the day, when they on a higher octane anyway, does drive a whole lot better. And there's a lot more plus when you run a higher octane gas that's recommended for, especially for these trucks. I know for a fact two things, that these trucks run good on a higher octane, also run on, like when you doing like the exhaust too is another thing for these trucks. When you do when you add any kind of aftermarket, I wouldn't say any kind of aftermarket exhaust system, but if you do like long as an aftermarket, free flow aftermarket exhaust system, good brand, you will notice like a huge difference too with driving and stuff like that. Again, it helps with, it's kind of I don't know how to word it out, but you guys get the point that HEMIs, like these HEMIs and stuff, it's just certain things that when you do certain things to them, it's like they it's like turning up the notch. They drive a lot better, sound a lot better, and stuff like that. But kind of excited, or I ain't gonna lie to you guys about me going the route of trying to get this truck tuned. Crazy thing is, it's still a stock truck, and I'm not trying to do. I mentioned it. I talked to, the guy that's gonna be tuning the truck. I reached out to him, and he gave me some advice on things that I need to do. And due to the fact that this truck has a 6-speed, but not for long, this truck not gonna have the 6-speed for a long time, or have the 5.7 Hemi. So I'm in the meantime, as I have the truck, I do, like I mentioned, I don't want to just drive it stock, but I do want to do I want to do little stuff here and there, like getting a custom tune, doing the headers, and then also doing the upgraded gears. That's another thing that has to get done on this truck. But I would recommend, if you got one of these trucks, if you still running 87, I would recommend you do run like 89. But depending on your situation, but it does, like I mentioned, it does help performance wise. If you more so on a fence about you trying to make more, like gain a little bit more performance, such and such, then this would be a better route for you, where I would say to definitely go ahead and run a higher octane gas. But if you really one of them guys that you don't really care too much about your performance on your truck, you just want to drive it, use it for work, whatever, this and that, then you can stick with 87. Stick with 87. It doesn't do any kind of bad to your truck. But because I've been running 87 on all my Dodges, all my Dodge I had in my life, I had 2 other Dodge Ram 1500. I run 87 on it. This one is currently on 87, but not for long. Like I mentioned, within the next couple weeks, that's the goal, to have get this truck, get the custom tune with the wide band. It's gonna be kind of crazy, because like I mentioned, this truck gonna be a completely different truck. So you guys definitely want to stick around for that, man. But that's gonna be enough for me yapping off and stuff. But you guys are here for the first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help support the channel. Ain't too many Ram channels on YouTube, so you guys definitely want to follow the build on my 2014 Ram 1500 quad cab. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Peace out.